Tonight on CTV News at 6, Connor McDavid is staying. The Oilers captain leaves millions on the table to win in Edmonton.
That was what Connor wanted. The players were shocked as well. Like, holy cow, what a leader this guy is.
Alberta teachers are now on strike.
We know the days ahead will not be easy. We also know that we are not alone.
And addressing crime and disorder. Edmonton's mayoral hopefuls share their plans for safety in the city.
Talking Edmontonians, they don't feel safe.
Cool and cloudy for the last couple of days, but we get back to some sunshine and back into the 20s tomorrow.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. A sigh of relief around the city today as Oilers fans learned Captain Connor McDavid isn't going anywhere. Despite being considered the best player on the planet by many, McDavid isn't getting a raise, signing a contract extension for well below what he could have commanded. 4 other NHL players make more money. CTV's Nariman Issa is live in Ice District. Nariman, how much longer will McDavid call Rogers Place home?
Well, Jeff, Connor McDavid will be an Oiler for at least the next 3 seasons. Now, today, he signed a 2-year, $25 million contract extension. Oilers general manager Stan Bowman described the contract talks as unique. He said that for the past few months, it was more of a conversation instead of an intense back-and-forth negotiations. Now, he also said that money was not discussed.
That was what Connor wanted. And it was not like we made a pitch that he should sign for that amount. That was never, we never had those conversations at all.
Now, McDavid broke the news of his contract extension, writing on social media, "Our journey here continues." Hockey analysts say by McDavid not taking a raise, the team will be better able to sign and trade for other players to get the pieces needed now to win the Cup. This after falling short the 2 previous seasons.
And that is someone showing that he's committed to winning a Stanley Cup with the Edmonton Oilers because, like everyone discussed, he could be making upwards of $19 million per year with the way that the CBA is structured, and he's nowhere near that.
Now, some young fans CTV News spoke with were hoping for a longer-term deal. However, they say his leadership speaks volumes.
I think it was a great deal, but personally, I think they should have signed for longer, just not than 2 years, because then after that, if we don't win the Cup, then I think he's going away, and that's going to be a big loss for the Oilers.
It does go show good leadership, help out the team, hopefully get some better players in.
Now, political leaders are also weighing in on the deal. Oilers fan and Prime Minister Mark Carney posted, "Crisis averted." And Premier Danielle Smith wrote, "Talk about taking one for the team. Thank you, Connor." Now, the Oilers were busy today. They also inked another player. Defenseman Jake Wallman signed a 7-year, $49 million contract extension with the club. Now, the Oilers kick off their season on Wednesday. They are at home hosting the Calgary Flames for a Battle of Alberta. Jeff?
All right, Nerman, thank you. Alberta teachers are now on strike. The union says its members want an agreement that leads to lasting change for future generations. The province responded today by issuing a lockout order. CTV's Connor Hogg reports.
We refuse to be back in this same fight 5 or 10 years from now. We're striking to break the cycle.
On the first day of what the ATA calls the largest job action in Alberta's history, President Jason Schilling says the province continues to disrespect the teaching profession.
I've had large classes in the 40s, and it is a struggle day and day in. And you leave the day at the end of the day feeling like you failed.
In a statement to CTV News, Finance Minister Nate Horner calls this a sad day for our province. He says the 2 failed votes tell the government union leadership is lost and has no idea what teachers want. Schilling says while teachers will not receive strike pay, some educational assistants and administrators are working inside shuttered school buildings.
We know the days ahead will not be easy. We also know that we are not alone. This was so evident yesterday.
Teachers won't be walking picket lines during the strike, the ATA opting instead for weekend rallies like ones held on Sunday. Labor Relations Professor Jason Foster says both sides will have to listen to public opinion. He says the disruption will intensify if the strike stretches into a second week.
People, a lot of their contingency plans are for a couple of days here, a couple of days there, and suddenly those contingencies start to fade away.
Foster says all workplaces will start to feel the strain, as parents could be forced to use vacation time, sick days, and unpaid time off to care for their kids.
It's not just those who have kids. It's everybody, I think, in the workplace will feel an impact about it.
The ATA says the province issued a lockout order today that will take effect this Thursday at 1 p.m. Schilling calls the lockout expected, adding the ATA and the province remain in talks. The finance minister is calling on the ATA to seek clarity from its members and bring their specific requests to the table. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
It's been more than 23 years since Alberta has experienced a teacher strike.
Get this through your head. There is no more money. Do you want me to say it one more time? There is no more money.
That was then Premier Ralph Klein's message to teachers in February 2002. 21,000 teachers walked off the job. Unlike the current province-wide strike, the 2002 job action hit a few school divisions at a time. Klein's government ordered teachers back to work 3 weeks later, and a settlement was eventually reached through arbitration. Students say they feel like their future is at risk. They're concerned that keeping kids out of the classroom is going to affect their educational and social development. Evan Kenny has more.
Feels like they're taking chances with our future.
Students in Edmonton are worried about falling behind thanks to the teacher strike.
It kind of feels like a letdown to us kids.
Rania Ali is in grade 12 at Ross Shepherd High School. She expected to be preparing for diplomas and applying for post-secondary schools, not sitting at home.
I would love to be able to just be in school right now and keep learning.
The province has a free education toolkit available to help support kids learning while they are out of school.
The YouTube videos that the government put together or the worksheets, those are alarmingly devoid of, that relational teaching.
Ali would rather learn from her teachers.
They have the experience, they know how to get the job done, and I trust them to carry out my education.
Ali says the strike won't just impact her education. She does extracurriculars before and after school, meaning the strike will affect her social interactions.
Staying just for learning, yes, that's important, but also so much of our lives depend on those connections we build with other people.
Others agree they'll miss those connections, especially after not having them during the online classes throughout the pandemic.
I can't see my friends or anything as much. That was a big part of the day. Now I just have empty space to sit at home and not be very productive.
These students are hoping they can see their friends and teachers again soon. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
Hope Mission is launching emergency meal and day camp programs for children affected by the strike. It's partnering with Edmonton Catholic to provide lunches at 5 Catholic schools starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Schools include St. Leo, St. Bernadette, St. Elizabeth, Anne Fitzgerald, and St. Nicholas. The mission says the need for these programs is urgent.
In Edmonton alone, we serve about 15,000 school lunches a month. So that's going to 15,000 stomachs.
Hope Mission will also provide emergency hampers of frozen meals for families on Thursdays at the Tegler Center in the Beverly neighborhood. Several businesses are finding ways to show support for the teachers. Arcadia Brewing is giving teachers and staff a pint on the house every day the strike goes on. Free meals and workouts are available at various businesses in the Edmonton area. Some psychologists are even offering free mental health support. Ground Up Psychology has scheduled several group walk and talk sessions.
I do know, as a former teacher myself, I do know that the teachers, they're not okay. They've been dealing with a lot in the classrooms, and walking away from those children that they support every day is taking its toll on them, and it's been very, very difficult.
We just want to show our solidarity and support to these teachers who are now on strike without pay. So that's a heavy load for them, and Arcadia is all about community for the people, and we want to have the people's back at the moment.
The A list of some of the freebies and discounts being offered to teachers is available on our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Premier Danielle Smith will hold a news conference tomorrow to discuss her meeting with the Prime Minister this afternoon. She briefly spoke to reporters in Montreal this morning about building a new pipeline.
I think it's the Prime Minister's job to show some courage in showing leadership on this. We're not going to be a G7 leader, and we're not going to be an energy superpower without the federal government making some decisions to build things again.
Last week, Smith committed $14 million to early planning work for a pipeline to the coast. So far, no private companies have stepped up. BC Premier David Eby says Canada is better served focusing on real projects. Smith hopes Ottawa can get involved. Tomorrow's news conference is at 8 a.m. An Edmonton hot tub repairman accused of defrauding customers has pleaded guilty. At least one victim is happy with the outcome. CTV's Gates Guarin has more on the case.
We just want him to pay for his fraudulent deeds.
Linda Morrison is one of dozens accusing Kenneth David Nichols of fraud. Morrison says in 2022, she e-transferred Nichols $500 for a new hot tub cover after he had asked for $1,000 up front.
I don't have $1,000 cash that would wipe out my checking account at this point in time.
After receiving payment, Morrison says she stopped hearing from him.
Day after day, week after week, wasn't answering. And I just like, okay, now, what do I do from here?
Eventually, she managed to get a hold of Nichols, who claimed she had canceled the payment, but her bank confirmed he had accepted the money. Edmonton police said nearly 50 people came forward alleging Nichols had taken money from them without providing parts or services he promised. Nichols pled guilty to one count of fraud over $5,000 and one count of theft over $5,000 in court today. Morrison says although she doesn't expect to see any of her money back, she's pleased to see Nichols be held accountable.
Our main concern is he's brought to justice and pays for his crimes and for all the defrauding he did to so many people.
Nichols is due back in court for sentencing later this month. Gates Guarin, CTV News, Edmonton.
Veteran punk rockers The Offspring are coming to Edmonton. The band and special guest Bad Religion will play at Rogers Place January 30th. Edmonton is among 15 Canadian stops on the band's upcoming North American tour. Pre-sale tickets will be available starting tomorrow. General tickets go on sale on Friday. All right, Josh, do you prefer yo-yo or roller coaster for the temperatures?
Oh, I don't mind either of those. They are both very good descriptors of the forecast for temperatures over the next little while. The yo-yo will go up tomorrow, then it'll go down Wednesday, then it'll go up again for Thursday, Friday, and then it goes way down. We walk the dog for Saturday, Sunday. Thank you, Jeff. Take a look at the current temperatures. We're at 11 degrees right now. 10s outside the city. We get to 13 for a daytime high today. That puts us right on par with average. A little bit warmer than the weekend. Highs of 12 both Saturday and Sunday. Your morning low, 6 degrees today, and we'll be in that 5 or 6 degree range again tomorrow morning. So what it looks like outside right now with the CTV drone. Mostly cloudy skies pretty much all day today. There were a few breaks in that cloud cover. The sun was trying to break through, really didn't have a whole lot of success, and I don't think we're going to see much in the way of clearing through the rest of this evening. Just off to the west-southwest, there are some clear breaks, but the clouds are going to continue to spill in here from the northwest over the next couple of hours. Those showers up in the Peace Country should all miss us. We've got some showers as well south of Fort McMurray. The big thing to keep an eye on, you notice how all the clouds off to the west and northwest are kind of arching to the north? That's the upper ridge that's going to briefly slide through for tomorrow. So watch your temperatures. 5 degrees tomorrow morning, partly cloudy by tomorrow morning, partly cloudy for most of the day, and then some increasing cloud late in the day, and a high of 21, maybe even 22 degrees. Show you the rest of the 5 and 10 day forecast in a couple minutes.
Thanks, Josh. Still to come on CTV News at 6, voting for public safety. How Edmonton mayoral candidates plan to crack down on crime and disorder in the city. Stay with us.
Tuesday on your morning, Thanksgiving on a budget, how to feed your flock without paying a premium. Plus, our City Hall reporter is here to help you make an informed choice during the upcoming civic election.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Safety in our city is top of mind for many Edmontonians as they decide who to support as our next mayor. From crime and disorder on transit to police tactics and fire response times, voters want to know how the candidates plan to make life safer. Jeremy Thompson has more in part 2 of our mayoral breakdown.
Well, police data shows crime rates declining in our city, including violent crime. Many Edmontonians are not feeling safe, whether it's hiring more police officers, getting tougher on transit disorder, or improving the relationship with EPS in the province to tackle the root causes of crime. The top mayoral candidates are making their pitches to voters on public safety. Part of political newcomer Omar Mohamed's campaign for mayor is interviewing Edmontonians for his social media.
I don't think it's very safe, especially in the evening time, I would say.
Crime, homelessness, and policing are frequent topics.
Talking to Edmontonians, they don't feel safe. They don't feel safe in their own backyards. They're not feeling safe on their community. They're not feeling safe on public transit.
Mohamed wants fare gates at LRT stations, a prolific offender task force to crack down on crime, and more supports for the vulnerable.
As home insecurity goes up and food insecurity goes up, so does desperation, so does crime. So I'm going to start there with Housing First Solutions for the homeless.
Former councillor Michael Walters once worked at the Bissell Centre. While he knows the value of social supports, he believes the province should play a larger role.
Healthcare, mental health, addictions, housing. If we start taking those things on ourselves, then we're going to have a whole other tax conversation that's going to be that would be enormous amounts of money.
He says public transit has become a drop-in center when it should be only for paying passengers. As mayor, Walters would expand the safety teams that pair police and peace officers with social workers.
Less politics in policing, more partnerships. It's really begin with that tone, is that the police are an important part of the solution.
Where you have more police presence, it deters crime.
Raheem Jaffer wants a lot more police, and he wants them patrolling transit and business zones. He's pledging to hire 500 new officers over 4 years if elected. He also believes peace officers should have more authority to make arrests.
There would have to be more retraining, and there would have to be the ability for ensuring that they understand the challenges in some of these areas where currently they can't enforce the way that they should.
We need more people of authority visible in our public spaces.
Tim Cartmel wants to ensure people battling addiction and homelessness get the help they need, guided by Indigenous social service providers where appropriate. He also says surrendering train stations and public squares to open drug use isn't the answer.
We stop accepting things that have become just a little bit too normal here as being the normal way of things. But that's not the city we used to be. That's not the city we want to be.
As mayor, Cartmel says he'd pressure Ottawa to change the justice system to keep convicted criminals off of Edmonton streets.
We need to fix bail, we need to fix prosecution, and we need to send people that commit crimes in other places back to those other places to serve out the rest of their sentence on bail or on parole.
Everyone say Andrew Knack wins! Andrew Knack wins!
Cartmel's council colleague Andrew Knack says public safety is about more than the number of officers. He says having only 2 EPS branches south of the river is complicating police work.
For police to be proactive and within community is very challenging when they've got to cover such a large range. We have to look at, do we need a South Central division?
When it comes to addressing root causes of crime, Knack is proud of the work the city is doing to build supportive housing. He believes wading into provincial jurisdiction on mental health, homelessness, and addictions is the right thing to do to prevent suffering on city streets.
We have the opportunity to make a significant difference, but we need to be willing to take the lead instead of just constantly saying, we're just going to keep advocating. We've been advocating for years.
Every candidate says a better relationship between council and police could help with public safety. Under a new chief and commission chair, that's already in progress. Cartmel believes civic awards to acknowledge bravery or community service would bolster that effort. Everyone but NAC supports some version of fare gates for LRT stations, despite an expensive pilot project that was cancelled before it began last fall. He and Walters say the city's safety initiatives should be scrutinized so public dollars can be dedicated to programs producing results, and everyone but Cartmel would spend money rebuilding LRT stations to be safer through design, like Stadium Station at Commonwealth. There are no quick fixes when it comes to safety. Whoever becomes mayor will have a mandate to make changes. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Advanced polls for the municipal election open tomorrow in Edmonton. Anyone unable to vote October 20th can cast their ballot early at 12 early polling stations around the city. They're open from noon until 8. At least one piece of government ID is required. Those applying for special mail-in ballots should receive them via courier by Wednesday. Because of the Canada Post strike, you're encouraged to return special ballots in person or use courier at your own cost. You can find the advanced polling station closest to you by visiting the city's website. Advanced polls are open tomorrow until October the 11th. Still ahead, getting ready for one of the busiest weekends of the year.
We have turkeys, stuffing, cranberries, and everything else that goes with a meal.
How you can support Edmonton's food bank this Thanksgiving.
And it'll be a chilly Thanksgiving, maybe even some wet snow on the way. But for tomorrow, looks fantastic. Some sunshine and back into the 20s. Full look at your forecast after the break.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Food bank volunteers are trying to ensure everyone gets a warm meal during what's expected to be its busiest Thanksgiving ever. This year, a local company is hoping to boost the campaign's power. CTV's Merrick DeCash explains.
We have turkeys, stuffing, cranberries, and everything else that goes with a meal.
Edmonton's food bank is getting ready for one of its biggest weekends of the year. With Thanksgiving coming up, hundreds of volunteers are lending a helping hand, including Mel Parkinson, who's been pitching in for more than 3.5 years.
We're doing an excellent job. Sometimes we run a little low on food, but whatever. We make the best of what we got.
The food bank is helping roughly 2,000 more people this Thanksgiving compared to last year. It's also serving more than 43,000 people a month through its hamper program.
So we know the need is great in our community. We know people are struggling.
The organization's executive director says in the last 5 years, the number of people relying on Edmonton's food bank has nearly doubled.
Plus close to 500,000 meals and snacks through our member agencies. So that's Hope Mission, Bissell, Boyle Street. All those groups that are serving their festive meals are accessing food from our warehouse.
EPCOR is also helping, vowing to match financial contributions ahead of Thanksgiving up to $25,000.
We're really pleased that EPCOR has stepped up. Their staff teams come and volunteer with us, and of course they're doing food drives at all their EPCOR facilities as well for us.
Volunteers are hoping to stuff these hampers with as much local and fresh produce as possible.
Some people get potatoes right from somebody's garden, those carrots from people's gardens.
Donations can be dropped off at the food bank, fire stations, and grocery stores across the city. Merrick DeCash, CTV News, Edmonton.
All right, Josh, how about we just focus on the warm-up tomorrow, not the cool-down this weekend?
I'm game.
Yeah, all right. Don't look too far ahead.
We'll get there eventually. Tomorrow looks great, though. Temperatures up to 13 degrees for a daytime high today. Currently, as you look through the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam, it's 11 degrees. Action Furnace fixed right over its free. We're looking at a little bit of blue starting to break through the clouds, but it's going to be way more cloud than clear sky, I think, for the bulk of this evening and overnight tonight. Tomorrow should see a little more sunshine. 5 degrees for a high in Fort McMurray today, 3 in high level. I know you don't want to talk about the weekend, But we're looking at temperatures in that range by Sunday. 15 degrees in Red Deer today. We get to 13 here at Edmonton and in Jasper. There's that little upper ridge that we were talking about off to the west of us. So you do have some scattered showers here to the south and southwest of the Fort McMurray area. You've had some showers in the Peace Country. We even had a few spotty showers move through the Edmonton area early in the day today. This is the cloud cover that's going to slide through now. So there's the bit of a break that we're seeing. But thicker cloud cover will move in from the northwest through the rest of this evening and overnight tonight. By tomorrow morning, should get some sunshine. A little different story to the northwest as that low pressure system starts to move in. Chance of some showers up around high level in the morning and a nice kick of some warm air out ahead of this system that'll have temperatures across much of the province in the high teens or low 20s. Yeah, on the backside of this cold front, though, it will be a little bit cooler in the northwest through the afternoon hours. Cloudier as well, and a chance of some showers. Might even be a little bit of wet snow mixed in there for parts of northwestern Alberta. And then this will certainly be snow developing late tomorrow night and through the day Wednesday in western parts of the province, through the foothills and in through the mountain parks. Watch as this cold front goes through. It looks like most, if not all, of the precipitation will break apart before it hits the Edmonton area. I've left a slight risk of a shower in the forecast for late tomorrow night or through the overnight period. Most of it probably misses the city, though. And then we're under a mix of sun and cloud for Wednesday with a cooler northwesterly flow after a big warm-up tomorrow. Watch how things play out. So here was the cooler air that was dominating over the weekend. Starts to move out. A little ridge moves in for tomorrow. Cools off again for Wednesday. Warmer air returns Thursday and Friday. And then through the weekend, look at all of this cold Arctic air that is spilling in. And yes, it is cold enough in the mid and upper levels that any precipitation will probably start out as showers and then potentially change over to some snow. And that includes for the Edmonton area late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, a chance of some wet snow. I don't think it's going to be all that much if we get anything at all, but the chance is there. Certainly through western Alberta, especially in through the mountains, there will be snow this weekend. It's 4 degrees in Fort McMurray, 16 in Grand Prairie, 12 in Red Deer. Lloydminster's in single digits, and we're still in double digits at 11 degrees here in the city. We'll drop to about 8 by 9 p.m. Temperatures under cloudy skies should hold steady through the rest of this evening, and overnight we'll drop to about 5 degrees. Then up to 21 with some late day increase in cloud. Chance of a late night shower tomorrow, although not a great chance. 13 Wednesday, 16 and 18. So back into the mid to high teens with some sunshine Thursday, Friday. And there's your cool down for the Thanksgiving weekend. 10 Saturday with that chance of wet snow Saturday night. Highs of 4 and 8 for Sunday and Monday.
Okay, thanks, Josh. A month of family activities has started at a farm north of Edmonton. The Haunted Pumpkin Festival is underway. Prairie Gardens Adventure Farm has welcomed fall visitors for the past 30 years. This year, people can try the pumpkin cannon, walk through mazes, check out a haunted farmhouse, pick their own pumpkins, and enjoy farm life.
There's a thing about wanting to come back and see the joy. A lot of urbanites don't get out of the city much, and this is an experience to come out and see this many people having so much joy.
The Haunted Pumpkin Festival is open every weekend and will be open Thanksgiving Monday. Kids wearing a costume can get in free on Halloween. Well, coming up, Mark Carney goes to Washington.
I'll be very blunt. You never know what comes out of a meeting with President Trump.
Expectations tempered as the Prime Minister talks trade in the White House. And hundreds of climbers get stranded on Mount Everest. Stay with us. Prime Minister Mark Carney is off to Washington again for another high-stakes meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump. While the Carney government is trying to temper expectations, the Prime Minister is being pressured to find some tariff relief for hard-hit sectors. CTV's Michael Couture has more.
Canadian officials are cautiously optimistic that tomorrow's meeting could pave the way for some relief on steel tariffs. And politicians from both sides of the border are hoping for the same.
I'll be very blunt. You never know what comes out of a meeting with President Trump.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford is hoping for some tariff relief, but says the U.S. president will say one thing one day and then change course the next. At a gathering of governors and premiers from around the Great Lakes, Pennsylvania's Josh Shapiro said tariffs are hurting the U.S.
We're still seeing prices go way up because the president decided to push the tariff button and drive up costs on the American people. It is dangerous. the rhetoric he's engaged in, and his practices are making things cost more.
U.S. tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum remain at 50%, while Trump is increasing levies on other products like softwood lumber and wood furniture. One former special advisor on Canada-U.S. relations for then Prime Minister Justin Trudeau believes Tuesday's meeting could yield some progress.
Either because you hope that you're close to an agreement and you would like to push it over the finish line with a signature moment and a handshake and an opportunity, or to push forward on something that's stalled or slowed.
Expectations are high from opposition leader Pierre Poilievre. In a letter to the Prime Minister, the Conservative leader demanded Carney keep his campaign promise to negotiate a win, including the removal of all tariffs on Canadian goods.
A White House spokesperson, Caroline Leavitt, says trade will be one of the many issues discussed between Carney and Trump when they meet in the Oval Office. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
The federal government is changing when it delivers the budget and how it calculates expenditures. The Liberals say the changes will provide more clarity, while critics say it's a move to downplay increasing debt. CTV's Judy Trinh reports.
In a break with long-standing practice, the finance minister says all future budgets will come down in the fall, enabling the government to get transfer payments out earlier in the fiscal year.
It's also going to provide more predictability, I would say, for provinces and territories. I've been talking to them, businesses and organizations that rely on federal funding.
The Liberals are also changing the budget framework to separate day-to-day spending from capital investments. Operational day-to-day costs include health and social transfers and government salaries, while capital investments encompass spending on major projects, housing, clean energy, and infrastructure.
When will the budget be balanced?
At the Finance Committee, the opposition slammed the minister for budget changes that don't add up.
Debt is still debt at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how many columns you try to present in front of Canadians and try to trick them. Are you guys going to be cooking the books?
It's irresponsible for a member of parliament to use language like that. I will say that. It's irresponsible.
The changes come after the interim parliamentary budget officer estimated that Canada's deficit will grow to $68.7 billion this year. Some economists say clearly showing how much the government is spending on capital investment is important.
What are we using debt finance for? Is it for for capital investment, in terms that will be there for decades, or is it for current consumption?
The government says it will balance its operational budget, the day-to-day spending, in 3 years. For more details, the finance minister says we'll have to wait until November 4th when he tables the budget. Judy Trinh, CTV News, Ottawa.
An abandoned premature baby is in hospital near Montreal after he was left on a doorstep overnight.
Heureusement, le petit bébé va bien.
The baby boy, born at just 34 weeks, was left at the doorstep of this home with his umbilical cord still attached. The infant was discovered last night at 11 o'clock after the doorbell rang. He was rushed to hospital and is in good condition. Police are looking at security footage and talking to neighbors to try and identify the person who left the child there. Delegations from Hamas and Israel are in Egypt for indirect peace talks on the eve of October 7th. Tomorrow marks 2 years since the Hamas terror attack on Israel and the military operation in Gaza that followed. The talks are an opportunity to end the war and free the remaining hostages in Gaza. All sides are expected to discuss the 20-point peace plan laid out by Donald Trump. As part of the proposal, Hamas must hand over the administration of Gaza to a Palestinian body. In return, Israel would withdraw its military and release Palestinian prisoners. Rescue teams are helping climbers stranded by a blizzard on Mount Everest. Tibetan firefighters have already guided about 350 climbers to safety. About 200 are still trapped about halfway up the world's tallest mountain. The blizzard over the weekend forced many to abandon their attempts to reach the summit. The 2025 Nobel Prize in Medicine has been awarded to 3 scientists, 2 from America, 1 from Japan.
For their discoveries concerning peripheral immune tolerance.
Americans Mary Brunkow and Fred Ramsdell and Japan's Shimon Sakaguchi were recognized for their work, which could lead to new autoimmune disease and cancer treatments. The winners will split a prize of 11 million Swedish crowns, that's about $1.6 million, and receive a gold medal from the King of Sweden. The night sky will shine bright this evening thanks to the largest and brightest full moon so far this year. Tonight's harvest moon will double as the first supermoon of 2025. That means the moon is about as close to the Earth as it gets, making it appear bigger and brighter. A harvest moon occurs nearest the autumn equinox, which helped farmers during the crucial harvest season before electricity. Still ahead, how are you feeling?
We get so busy that we just keep moving from thing to thing. So I think it's a really good reminder to take stock, slow down, and take some steps.
An online tool that can help you understand how you're doing emotionally and offer resources for help.
The Stampede really makes you feel like a Calgarian and makes you feel at home. And so I want people to experience that.
And the story behind the Calgary Stampede's 2026 showcase poster.
Programming brought to you by the music of Star Wars with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspherecenter.com.
Organization wants you to prioritize your mental health. It's offering a free online tool for National Depression Screening Day. As CTV's Stephanie Thomas reports, a short quiz can be the first step towards feeling better.
The Calgary Counseling Centre and Counseling Alberta are asking, are you feeling okay? A free anonymous online screening may help those at risk of or dealing with depression to get connected to support.
Once you know that there's an issue, there is help available, and the sooner that you have it looked at and addressed, the easier it is to manage and deal with and get support.
This is the 20th National Depression Screening Day. It's actually a week-long initiative, kicked off at Calgary's Central Library downtown. Organizers say they don't want people to miss the early warning signs or struggle longer than necessary.
It's okay to reach out to capable professionals out there who are willing to support and help.
She estimates 1 in 4 people will develop depression once in their lifetime. An estimated 1 in 5 Albertans are at risk of some adverse mental health event just this year.
It's just kind of a sad time to be living in, perhaps.
This attendee also plans to complete the screening and says she prioritizes her mental health with a breathing exercise.
Belly breath, deep breath in, and then just a little extra breath on top, and then slowly release.
Although her mental health can be an ongoing struggle, she says she's fortunate in many ways.
And I'm very, very grateful to have the support network that I do now. And I recognize that this isn't like a reality for many people.
The online screening tool is available in 6 languages: English, French, Chinese, Punjabi, Spanish, and Ukrainian. Stephanie Thomas, CTV News, Calgary.
Looking at the markets, the Canadian dollar traded for 71 cents to the American dollar. Oil was up 81 cents, closing the day at $61.69 a barrel. Gold gained more than $67 on the day. The TSX and Dow Jones both ended the day up 60 points and 63 points, respectively. Tim Hortons is raising coffee prices for the first time in 3 years. The cost of a cup of Joe will go up an average 3 cents per cup. Tim Hortons says the price of its coffee beans has more than doubled. Stats Canada shows Canadians are also paying more for coffee at their grocery stores. The cost went up by nearly 28% in August compared to the same time last year. Months after closing dozens of stores across Canada, Peavey Mart is hiring as it looks to make a comeback. The Canadian hardware chain has new owners, a numbered investment group. It says it's opening locations in Spruce Grove, Westlock, Camrose, and Lacombe sometime this fall. Its distribution hub is in Red Deer County. A number of jobs are now posted online. Peavey Mart filed for creditor protection and closed 90 stores nationwide earlier this year. The new owners secured the naming rights and associated intellectual property in April. The Calgary Stampede has unveiled next year's poster. Dana Lepp's piece, When the Grass Dances, has been chosen as the official poster. It's a portrait of grass dancer Tyrone City Eagle from a powwow earlier this year. The 22-year-old artist says she wanted to honor the vibrancy of powwow traditions and intergenerational connections that continue to link communities to the Stampede. Lepp says she got the idea when she first attended Stampede 3 years ago.
It also means that more people can see how powwow and how the grass dancing touched me in the beginning. The Stampede really makes you feel like a Calgarian and makes you feel at home. And so I want people to experience that.
The 2026 Calgary Stampede runs from July 3rd to 12th. Coming up, a lucky catch.
All those years of practicing and playing, they finally paid off.
Grand Slam catch one Toronto Blue Jays fan will never forget as the team gets ready for what could be the final game of the current series.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV, starting at 7 with E-Talk.
After decisive wins in Toronto over the weekend, the Jays are in New York City, ready to take on the Yankees in the third and what could be final game of the American League Division Series. CTV's Allison Hurst reports on fans that are thrilled with the team's start.
A moment in Blue Jays franchise history. Caught in the stands by Brendan Craig, barehanded, overhead, in the second deck.
Instincts took over, and I played ball my whole life, so all those years of practicing and playing, they finally paid off.
Craig and his wife bought their tickets on Facebook Marketplace to catch the game.
Funny enough, the person who I bought the tickets off, his pitch to sell them was good spot for a Vladdy bomb.
The seats lived up to the promise, made sweeter by it also being the first Grand Slam in postseason franchise history. But the history-making didn't stop there.
6 Ks through 2 2/3.
Rookie pitcher Trey Yesavage took the mound in his first ever postseason start.
He's built for this game. It's awesome.
Setting a franchise record 11 strikeouts in a no-hit postseason game, and he did it in just 5 innings.
What a nice young man that very pleased the way he's handling the situation.
Yesavage felt the support at the mound.
The energy and the passion that this fan base has and all 44,000 people that were here tonight is special.
With the way the entire team played this weekend,
Now Varsho drills one.
fans are feeling pretty confident heading to the Bronx.
3-0 and keep going up to the World Series.
The team is so good this year. I think that they're gonna go just up till they win.
Optimistic but not cocky. So I think we can get this series, but it's one game at a time.
Craig will be watching, Grand Slam ball in hand, but what he's going to do with it?
I don't really know, don't have a plan yet. If they're interested in it, I'd be happy to talk with them and get it back because it's a pretty historic ball.
In an historic series that's not over yet. Allison Hurst, CTV News.
Local fans can cheer the Blue Jays on in a very fitting spot. Riverhawks are hosting watch parties in the Hawks Lounge. Head coach says Jays games have a special significance to fans.
It doesn't always feel like we're just playing to win baseball games. It feels like it's Canada versus the U.S. in a lot of time, and with how strong that they've been this year, it's really fun to rally around them and get connected to the game of baseball.
Next watch party is tomorrow. Doors open an hour before the game starts. Seating, first come, first served.
Listen, I forgot the games were on, but thank you for texting me repeatedly about how excited you were about the Jays postseason run.
It's a big deal, you know?
Yeah. 5 degrees tomorrow morning. There might be an inside joke there. 21 tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy skies. Big warm-up tomorrow. Slight chance of a shower late tomorrow night. 13 Wednesday, back to sunshine for Thursday, Friday, and then a cool down for the weekend. 10, 4, and 8 for highs Saturday, Sunday, and Thanksgiving Monday.
All right. Thanks, Josh. Thanks for sharing your time with us. For news anytime, visit ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Have a great evening.